Salaki. But yeah, we was getting that in Revelation 13. All right, where it talks about that number of the beast, which is the number of a man. 603 score 6. Which in the Greek is Chi Shai Stigma, if I'm pronouncing that right. What we want to do is get that last word, stigma. But a little one will find it. Because it's not a spiritual mark. Certain camps teach that, this mark of the beast is a spiritual mark. Nah, man. It's a physical mark. This mark right here is a physical mark. So if you go there, and let's see, so yeah, we're going to get that word stigma.
Stigma, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental uses, slaves or soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods.
God, see that? So this describes a literal mark, man. Stamp, right? Something that was cut or pricked, right? And it's basically, hey, man, we just read in Matthew the 6th chapter, all right? No man can serve two masters. You take this mark, you're indicating, all right, who your master is. That's why this thing is so major. Revelation 13, it starts with that first beast. Then you get into the second beast, all right? And what does it lead to? It leads to the mark, man. So this is nothing to be taken lightly, you know what I'm saying? That's really the biggest indicator. That mark right there is not only a sign, you know what I'm saying? Someone who actually, who's following the prophecies, all right, measuring the time diligently, we see the time that we're in, But it's also a sign of that beast. This is literally what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because once you take that mark, he got full control, man. He got full control, man. You don't even know what kind of technology is in that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? At first they gonna say like, yeah, you're not tracking nobody. It's just this. But meanwhile, no, it's a tracking device in there. It could be things that they could like release things into your body. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of witchcraft. Hey, Scripture says never trust thine enemy, man. So we don't know what the hell this devil got going on, But the whole point is we can't be ignorant of his devices. We can't trust him, man. Let alone worship him. That's what our people are doing, man. They more secure than where this system is, where it's structured. You know what I'm saying? They're conforming to this world.
Go along to get along.
Go along to get along, man. Yep. And that's how you worship the beast, But yeah, I think that was it, right?
So Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners.
Right. So the point here is, this is talking about a man. Right here, we see it says, is this the man that shake the kingdoms? So if you go up, if you could jump up a little bit just to get the context, all right? This is one of the more famous scriptures, right? You got
So Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art they fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art they cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart that I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
See that? So this right here, he's talking about Lucifer, which, you know, it's really not the Greek, all right? Because Lucifer is not even a Hebrew term. You know, that's something that was just put in there. You know what I'm saying? But that it means light bearer. You know what I'm saying? It's like basically someone who has the glory. You know what I'm saying? And we know this is a particular people, all right? Particular man. If you keep reading this context, it says, "Is this the man?" All right? That same man in the kingdom, we're gonna be looking like, is this the man? This is the one that was shaking the kingdoms out. You know, he gonna be feeble. You know. So that beast, all right. I believe it talks about the signs in there too, right? Salaki. I think I got that scripture for a reason. But it talks about, I know with a light is a sign. You know what I'm saying? I believe that might have been the reason why I got it. But a light, all right, having that light, all right, that's a sign in itself. You know what I'm saying? Genesis, the first chapter, tells that the lights were created as a sign. So whoever's the light bearer, right, that right there is a sign. You know what I'm saying? The earth was given to the hand of the wicked. You know, so whoever has the substance, all right, he's going to be coming down. He's going to be falling down from heaven. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's fine. But I was going to make another point. I believe if I keep the more scriptures after, Lord, what I got after that? That was it? Oh, you got that already, right?
Yeah.
No, no. You read all that too, right? Okay, kind of. Yeah, we can keep going. Yep. Because all of that's a sign. You know, him shaking the kingdoms. All right, doing with just the power that he has, what he's doing out here. That itself is a sign. That's what's leading our people. The will and plan is made. This is what's leading our people, you know, to worship that beast. You got it. Oh, yep.
So Isaiah 14 and verse 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one of them in his own house.
That was the only one?
No, I thought you wanted to go.
Oh, no. You good. That's fine. Definitely advise brothers, you know, to read Isaiah 14, you know.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. Who opposes and exalt himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Right. So we read in the same chapter earlier, you know, talking about him doing the working of Satan. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, we just read the scripture. What verse was that? It's a lot.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4.
So that was in the 4th verse. That sounds just like what we read in Isaiah, the 14th chapter. You know what I'm saying? The man who opposes himself as he is God, he exalted himself, man. That's the same man that's shaking the kingdoms. You know, that light bearer. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is the sign. Him doing, all right, that witchcraft, the media. You know what I'm saying? To the believers, we see that and we point it out like, oh, this is a sign. You know what I'm saying? But our people, the vast majority, they need something more. They literally need that fire coming down. And that's why they worship in that beast system. Because they actually could see and look at something. Like, hey man, you see what they did? Like they able to, you know what I'm saying? Throw the chip in you, like that movie Upgrade. They put the chip in you and now you can start walking. Someone who's paralyzed, they can walk again.
What's that one with Justin Timberlake or whatever too? Where you had to
Sound familiar.
Your life was gonna be cut off, you had to
Yeah, I mean talking about, yeah, that was a good one. I forgot what that one, yeah, that was, yeah. I know what you're talking about. It was like something to do with like, you know what I'm saying, like your third eye or something. I forgot. I know what you're talking about. Yep. But that's basically, that's what our people is with, man, you know? People, I mean, a lot of people, they're proud to take the vaccines. I just want to say that word, but you know, but a lot of people are proud to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because they're worshiping that beast. You know what I'm saying? They deceived by the miracles. You know what I'm saying? They get the opinions of the doctors, which the scriptures in Zechariah was 13:5. It says, "Your own shepherds pity them not." That goes into that false prophet. It could also be those doctors. You go to a doctor and they tell you something like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. You don't got nothing to worry about." You know what I'm saying? That's that serpent. You know what I'm saying? Thou shalt not surely die. But meanwhile, we got celebrities. DMX. They said he died from that, man. Which that's not gonna be told. They're gonna say he overdosed on drugs. You know what I'm saying? But if he survived it, then he would have been like the next spokesperson. Oh, DMX took it, so you know what I'm saying. Now the hood's gonna start listening. That's the deceivableness, man. Lord willing, you know what I'm saying. We're not gonna be deceived by that same type of witchcraft, all right? Because it's gonna get worse. Slocky. It's gonna get worse, man. The witchcraft, man. Especially where it's like now it's affecting, like, you know what I'm saying, the money. Like if you hit them where it hurts, man. If they can't go to work unless they got particular things, if they got the digital certificate, ultimately that mark, man. You can't buy, you can't sell, you can't eat, man.
So 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
Right, see that? So, Spirit, I just said, it's going to get worse, man. It's going to get worse, man. All right, particular false prophets, all right, the deceivers and the ones that are being deceived. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a cycle. Someone that's being deceived, then they're going to pass on little lies that they believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard him say this. It's backed by the FDA or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever deceit that they've been deceived by, then they're gonna use their same logic. You know what I'm saying? And deceive people around them. Meanwhile, all right, we have another sign, all right, in the form of, all right, Lord willing, all right, we be part of that number, all right, the men who's shining that light. You know what I'm saying? That's another sign. Because we're pointing out particular things that's going on in the news, right? We're looking at the measuring the times diligently. We're breaking down the mysteries of the scriptures. Piecing things together. All right, seeing who is the devil, who is the beast in Revelation. That in itself, Lord willing, all right, we're praying. You know what I'm saying? Someone can receive it. We have to hear to hear, man. This right here is a sign. That there's men. The brother just told me he was in DR and there was men doing this work, man. In DR, man, just a random place he happened to be at. It was, all right, Dominican. Who was Slovakia? Simeon. Yeah. Chopper Simeon. Chiefly. It could have been some Levi in there too. But you know what I'm saying? Our people's all over the world, and that right there is a sign. That's not the sign of the beast. That's the sign, all right, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That he's still dealing, all right, with the children of Yasha'Allah, man. Israel, man. That's right.
So 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
That's right. It's the things that we learn, man. Things that we know. All right, Lord willing, all right, we have that knowledge and wisdom that's going to keep us stable in the time that we're entering, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. Lord willing, we know our power. Lord willing, we truly have that faith, man. We truly have that charity. You know what I'm saying? That love for our people. The same love that Yahushua had. That allowed him to endure to the end. Because he was tempted of Satan. You get that in Matthew 4. He was tempted of Satan. So you think that, as coming in that body of Yahushua, right, who the world calls Christ, we're not going to be tempted of Satan. So Lord willing, we could learn these things. We can look at the scriptures and see how, how it plays a role today. And hey, man, at the end of the day, it's all done for the elect's sake. The elect are going, all right, like we brought out, the elect are going, they're not going to be deceived. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to, Lord willing, gotta throw that Lord willing in there. You know what I'm saying? Well, won't be those men. We're not gonna be ignorant of his devices, you know. Without she had a point. That was it. Hey, so with that, you want to give all praise?
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadah.
Double honors to the true leaders of the nation of Israel. Peace and salutations to all the Sensei Akim during afflictions, making the call in the lecture shirt. Shalom.
Shalom.
ETA.
Shalom.